Greetings hunters! I'd like to share this hunting horn build that makes use of the new Bludgeoner skill changes. Bludgeoner level 3 now adds 10% attack when your weapon sharpness is green, so let's take this into consideration. This is a low maintenance build that requires very little sharpening and can reach 100% affinity. It may not hit as hard as the builds that use the Nargacuga Hunting Horn, but it comes pretty close. The main advantages this build has over the Nargacuga builds is that it is easier to maintain sharpness, it has more armor defense, it has more decoration slot flexibility, and you only need to maintain one song to be effective, so overall, it is easier to use. First, let's take a look at the weapon we'll be using. The Rampage Agitato 4 by default doesn't look too special. However, upon further inspection, the weapon can actually be further modified so that it can become much more useful. The weapon has 3 separate Rampage slots available for modification. On the first slot, we'll want to use Sharpness type 2. Immediately, this makes the weapon have green sharpness instead of the default blue. This may seem like a downgrade, but the reason for this is that we will be using the Bludgeoner skill later in the build. On the second slot, we want to increase the damage further, so we equip Non-Elemental Boost. And lastly, on the third slot, we will change the Hunting Horn song list to Attack Melody 2. This will give us the very powerful Attack and Affinity Up song, which increases attack by a further 10% and increases affinity by 20% when active. For the Petalist, this comes down to your preference. You can equip the Hunter Petalist for a more balanced approach, or you can equip the Strength Petalist for more HP, Fortitude Petalist for more stamina, and Demon Petalist for more attack. Personally, I prefer the Demon Petalist since I feel that I don't need more HP overall. Now for the Talisman. The bare minimum here is that you should have at least 1 point of weakness exploit available. If you have a Talisman with weakness exploit and additional skills and slots, then definitely use that to your advantage. Next up, we'll be equipping 3 pieces of the Rajang set, mainly the head, the chest, and the legs. The important skills here are Critical Boost 2 and Max Might 2. Next, we'll use the Spio Elytra Waist. For the male hunters, I believe this is called Scalda Elytra instead. This brings up our weakness exploit all the way up to level 3, which will give us 50% affinity when we attack weak spots of the monster. And lastly, to complete the set, we will equip the Tigrex braces. This gives us 2 points of Bludgeoner. Next, we'll put in the decorations accordingly. For the head slots, we'll firstly put in Horn Maestro. Horn Maestro is important because it speeds up the animation speed of the self-improvement recital. Next, we'll bring up Maximum Might to level 3 with a Max Might decoration. For the chest slot, we'll want to add in 1 Blunt Jewel. This will bring our Bludgeoner skill up to level 3. This is very important because level 3 makes it so that you gain the attack bonus on green sharpness. Do recall that we modified the Rampage Agitato so that it will have green sharpness by default. And lastly, we have level 3 slot for the arms and 2 level 1 slots for the legs. This part is really up to your preference. If you want to add in elemental or status resistances, you could do so. If you want to add in an attack jewel, you could do so as well, or maybe some grinding jewels for speed sharpening. It's really up to you, and this is where your build will vary with the rest. Alright, so with that said, let's see if this build is any good. Try to count the number of times that I sharpen during the whole fight. Thank you for watching and happy hunting!